Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about keys in a DBMS. So keys play a very important role in a database. So what are keys? Keys are some attributes. So by attributes I mean to say the columns inside the table. So keys are some attributes which helps us to identify each record or each row in the table uniquely. So in this video we will discuss about 5 types of keys. So first, primary key, followed by composite key, candidate key, alternate key and foreign key. So let us try to understand these concepts with the help of some examples. So this is a student table. Attributes are admission number, name, address, class and school. We have 3 tuples in this table. So by tuples I mean to say the rows. So these are the rows, or we can also call it to be the tuples of the table. Now from this table any column can become a key. Let us learn how. I already told you that a key can find out the values of each row uniquely. So here let us consider the columns one by one. Let us see. So first let us consider the name column and try to find out all the values of one row. Now from this column name, if I select Zara and try to find out her address, then class and school is same for everyone. So by only the name Zara, if I try to find out the address and class, it is nearly impossible. Why impossible? Because inside Delhi there might be so many Zaras present. Same case will be applicable to the class also. Inside one class, class 10A, there might be too many Zaras. There may be 3, 4 or in some cases there is only one. So similarly if we look into the address column. So if I say only Delhi from the address column, again the same thing applies. Impossible to find out Zara from the entire Delhi. Again if we come to class and school, the same thing will be applicable again. So we came to know that name, address, class and school is not sufficient or is not capable of giving me the details of one particular student. So now finally let us come to the admission number column. So this admission number column can give me the details of each student, because admission number is different for each and every student of that particular school. Hence we call admission number of the table student to be the primary key. One important property of the primary key is that in the column all the values must be different from one another. As we can see, all the values are different. We cannot have duplicate values inside the column primary key. Another thing to be remembered is that every table, the entire table, can only and only have one primary key. In any situation, we cannot have two primary keys inside one table. So next we move to the next concept, that is composite key. Now as you can see in this table, we have taken the same table as earlier with a slight change. In place of admission number, we have taken roll number. If we see very carefully in the table, no column in the table can give me unique values in the row. Roll number, neither name, address, class and school. Name, address, class and school we have learnt in the previous slide. Roll number, why roll number is not capable? Because in one school there are so many classes starting from class KG to class 12. So for each class we have roll number 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. So whenever I say roll number 1, all the students having roll number 1 from classes KG to class 12, everyone will come up. So in this situation, what we can do is we can combine 2 or more columns together, and the combined columns will help us to identify each student uniquely. Here, if we combine roll number and class together, then these 2 columns together can give me the details of each student uniquely. Yes, so these 2 columns together are known as the composite keys. Okay, now let us move to the next 2 other concepts. Now in this example, we see that there are many columns which can be the primary key of the table. Admission number, roll number. Roll number, if we consider these roll numbers are from the same class, all these students belong from the same class, then roll numbers also we can consider. Again, email addresses. So email addresses are also unique, roll numbers are unique, and admission number is also a unique value. And all these 3 columns can become the primary key of the table. Now all these 3 columns together we cannot select, because we have learned one property of the primary key, that inside one table only one primary key can be present. But here in this table we can see 3 primary keys are available. Okay, again there is no point of combining all these 3 columns together and make one. Why there is no point? Because individually all these 3 columns are sufficient to give me the details of each student separately. So all these 3 columns individually, one by one, are called as the candidate keys. So these 3 columns are the candidates for becoming a primary key. As we have to select only one, so out of those 3 I will select any one. So let me select the admission number to be the primary key. After selecting admission number as the primary key, we are left out with these 2 columns, roll numbers and emails, which were termed as a candidate key. So after setting the primary key for the table, roll number and email address will be called as the alternate keys. I think these concepts are clear. Next, we move to the last topic, that is foreign key. So in this picture I have taken 2 tables. This is the first table and this is the second table. So first table is the department table and the next table is the teacher table. So for department table, department code is the primary key, and for teacher ID, I mean teacher table, teacher ID are the primary keys. Okay, now look into the tables very properly. Now from this table, if I have to find out the name of the teacher who is teaching English, what do I do? If I look into only this table, I do not have the name of the teacher. If I look into only this table, I do not have the name of the department. What this teacher is teaching, the next and next, we do not know. So in this situation, what we have to do is we have to look into both the tables together. Now even after looking into both the tables together, we see that the tables cannot be combined. Why? Because there are no common values present inside both the tables, so that we can join them together. So to join them together and to find out the name of the teacher who teaches English, what we have to do is, the department code for English is 002. Let us remember this and move to the next slide. So what we do is we create another table, and in this another table what we have done is we have inserted the department code, which is the primary key of the department table, inside the teacher table. Now from this we can easily find out who teaches English. Why? Because from the previous table and this new table we can easily compare. The first table was department. From that department table we can find out, or we had seen that 002 was English department. So from this table we can easily say that this 002, the name of the teacher is David and Sarah. Since this is a foreign particle which was inserted to a new table for a purpose, this column will be called as the foreign key. I hope this foreign key concept is very much clear to you. One point to be remembered is that one table can have many foreign key values present. Like primary key, only one table could store only one primary key. But in case of foreign keys, we can store as many foreign keys we want inside one table. So today, here we come to the end of this class. Thank you.